As with the last episode of Women Taking the Lead, I'm asking, for your career, who do you go to for help and support? Help comes in many forms and from a variety of sources. Some help you can get for free, and some help costs money. While I always recommend utilizing your free help when appropriate and for as many things as you can, it's important to know that free resources will only get you so far. We can get stuck in our careers or with a situation at work because we keep going back to the people in our lives whom will offer their help for free, but who don't have the expertise to guide us through our challenges effectively. Knowing whom you can go to for what will save you time and energy and not put any undue pressure on those in your support system who want to help but can't give you what you need. This episode will cover the types of career helpers you want to pay for and how to utilize those people. If you are new to the Women Taking the Lead podcast, hello and welcome. I'm Jody Flynn. I'm an executive leadership coach, speaker, and author. I am the current president of the board for the Maine Women's Conference. I have the privilege and joy to work with women leaders to hone the skills and the mindset that allow them to grow into and then thrive in senior leadership. My specialization is working with women who are stabilizing after their last promotion and those who are preparing for the next one. It is my belief that for more women to hold positions of senior leadership, there are changes at the individual and organizational level that need to occur. Not only do women need to be trained and coached on how to operate at these levels of leadership, organizations need to change their paradigm of how the work gets done and what supports are in place for leaders to do their job. If we are not already connected on LinkedIn, please send me an invitation to connect. You can find me directly at linkedin.com/in/Jody Flynn, or you can search for Jody Flynn. I'm very active on LinkedIn, so I should be at or near the top of the search results. You'll see the follow button is prominent, but if you click on the more button to the right, you'll find the option to connect. Click on that and be sure to add a note to the invitation letting me know you're a listener of the podcast. I would love to connect with you and get to know you better. The last episode of Women Taking the Lead covered various people in your life who can give you career help for free. Those covered were family, friends, mentors, and sponsors. I'm going to underscore that as someone who knows the value of a dollar, I appreciate and encourage utilizing those people in your life who would love to offer you their help free of charge. What this episode is covering is the help you can get from trained professionals that your free helpers cannot give you, even though they love you and want the best for you. Now, when introducing money into the conversation, I have to cover some ground because we all have stories around money, whether it's how much money it's okay to spend on ourselves or even what we're allowed to seek professional help for. There are many reasons why we, as ambitious, perhaps perfectionistic women, don't take action and hire someone to help us, even for something as high stakes as our career. Do any of these ring true for you? 1. You lean on Google, YouTube, or podcasts and books for all the answers. The assumption being, whatever the challenge is, with a little more knowledge, you should have no problem doing what you need to do. 2. You're used to figuring things out on your own or with your free help. More often than not, people are coming to you for help. The idea of giving someone money to help you is a little mind-boggling. 3, you rely on your company to tell you what training and development you need. So you think if it's not being suggested by your company, you probably don't need it. 4, you belong to a group or a culture where there's a stigma around paying for certain kinds of help. 4, you belong to a group or culture where there's a stigma around paying for certain kinds of help. 5, you believe you should be paying for any training and development not offered by your company out of pocket, but you have a very tight budget. 6, you've never made this type of an investment before, nor has anyone close to you. You're not sure what a reasonable price for the service would be. You already feel like a fish out of water, so hesitate to make inquiries. And lastly, If you're a people pleaser, you may even avoid a discovery call with a professional service provider for fear you may have to tell them you've decided not to hire them. And that would make you feel bad on top of everything else you've got going on. There was a time I needed help desperately, and I avoided engaging with any professionals for many of the reasons I've just listed. Primarily, it was because I didn't want to waste their time if I ultimately couldn't afford their services. I would do as much digging around, vetting, and utilizing free resources before ever making my existence known to a particular professional. All this to say, if you know you typically avoid paying for help, I get it. Sometimes it's really hard to make the decision and take the first step. I've had many clients who didn't reach out to me until they were at their absolute wit's end and reached out desperately for a lifeline. But they were always glad that they did. And in my experience, once I found the provider I could connect with, I was so glad I'd made the decision to hire them. All right. So now let's talk about the kind of help you can pay for and why this help and you are worth the money. The first one I'm going to cover is a therapist. With more and more workers reporting mental health issues as a result of the pandemic, the stigma around seeking help for mental health issues is starting to go away. If you feel like your emotions are out of control, are having more frequent emotional confrontations than you've previously experienced, if you have excessive worry, fears, or extreme feelings of guilt, if you experience extreme mood changes, if you've been withdrawing from friends and activities, or have experienced significant tiredness, low energy, or problems sleeping, a therapist can be a fantastic resource for you. These experiences have become so common that many people have been on long waiting lists, waiting to be able to work with a therapist. A therapist's typical functions are to help their patient heal by delving into their problems, overcoming issues, and sometimes manage chronic mental illness. Through working with a therapist, you will also increase your emotional intelligence. This is the ability to identify and manage your emotions and those of others. The more emotional intelligence you have, the easier it is to lead effectively. And I've shared previously on this podcast when I had the experience of my emotions being out of my control. I worked with a therapist around identifying my emotions, just naming them was the beginning and harder than I imagined it could be. But that was incredibly beneficial to me. And can therapy be good for your career? Yes. Yes, it can. And many companies are making sure mental health is a prominent part of your benefits package. So if working with a therapist is of interest to you, look at your healthcare benefits and see what it covers, because likely it's in there and it's a good resource. And if what you need isn't fully covered, I want to tell you, paying out of pocket for therapy is a worthwhile investment. You will not regret it. Find the right counselor for you, and you will be so glad you did. The next paid professional is a career counselor. Career counselors help you understand your professional path and figure out the right career fit for you. To help you think about what it is you want to do for work, they may administer personality tests, interest inventories, or other assessments to help you identify potential careers that might be a good fit for you. A career counselor can help you to create a plan for your career path or to identify aspects of a job that you would value, such as, do you prefer working with people or alone? Would you enjoy managing others, or would you much prefer to not have to manage others? This way, you are more empowered to choose a job that is the best fit for you. Counselors are tasked with helping you find a career that fits your interests, your talents, skills, and values, your desired work-life balance, your desired lifestyle, and your salary needs or aspirations. They may give you tips or strategies to get the job you want, but as a rule, it isn't their primary goal. If you're changing careers and you're not sure where to go, then consider working with a career counselor. Would you be interested in discovering your strengths as a leader and identifying your gaps so you can be more confident and competent in your leadership? I developed the Leadership Operating System quiz for women like you. This holistic self-assessment allows you to assess your effectiveness in leading others, leading yourself, your ability to influence, your ability to manage your energy, and your communication skills. It's a way for you to quickly identify where you could focus your developmental resources. And it's not about getting bad news. This quiz will also be an acknowledgement of where you are getting a lot of things right. Those who have used the Leadership Operating System quiz have described the questions as engaging and thought-provoking. They appreciated getting insights into which areas to focus on and really like the resources that were provided at the end. It will take you about 3 minutes for you to complete. If you think about it, that's a quick turnaround to gain insight into what would improve your effectiveness as a leader and make being a leader easier and more enjoyable. Go to womentakingthelead.com/quiz to find out more and to take the Leadership Operating System quiz. Before I distinguish between a couple of different types of coaches you could work with for your career, let me talk a little bit about what coaching is and isn't, because although it's a term that is used a lot, not many people understand what professional coaching truly is. Coaching is a partnership. It's a collaborative effort that is solely based on what the client would like to accomplish. The client brings their goals, the obstacles to those goals, and the coach brings objectivity, curiosity, non-judgment, and great questions. This is why, though your manager may use some coaching skills to develop you and your team members, they are very invested in you achieving specific goals that impact their own goals. For this reason, it's very difficult for them to suspend their own needs, wants, and goals to give you the space to explore your own development. As opposed to a mentor, a coach does not use their personal experience as a model of success for the person they are coaching. The person being coached is the expert on their experience. The coach is the expert on the coaching process. Through the coaching process, a coach can help a client identify the best strategy for themselves to navigate a challenge. Coaches focus on solutions and actions. They do not dwell in the past. Instead, in the coaching process, the past is recognized and it's accepted, but the focus is primarily on helping the client get from where they are now to where they want to be. What my clients appreciate about coaching is having the space to let down their guard, say whatever it is they need to say without being judged or having their words used against them at a later time. My clients have a safe place where they can be completely honest. I come with curiosity and ask questions designed to get them thinking, and soon my client is looking at their challenge from a new perspective. From this new perspective, they can see solutions and opportunities that they couldn't see before. As you can imagine, seeing new solutions and opportunities makes them feel relief, hope, a renewed sense of energy and motivation, and confidence that they will overcome their challenge. So the first type of coach I want to talk to you about who can help you in your career is straightforwardly called a career coach. Whereas a career counselor will help to point you in the right direction, a career coach will help you stay moving and reach your destination. Career coaching is much more often focused on helping you meet your goals, whether it's to get a new job, even if that's a new job in a new career area, or to move ahead in the career you're in. They will probably help you focus on honing your interview skills, negotiating compensation packages, navigating office politics, or getting a promotion. They often offer help and advice for your resume and LinkedIn profile so you can better market yourself to potential employers. A career coach probably won't administer personality tests or otherwise guide you to discovering your dream career, but they may offer suggestions on what job you could be marketable for based on your experience. They may offer suggestions you hadn't thought of, though it would be up to you to determine if that's a route you want to go. A career coach can also help you realize any underlying thoughts, assumptions, or biases that hold you back from success. If you're happy in your current career but want to move ahead or get a new job, or if you know what area you want to transition to, you may want to talk to a career coach. The next type of coach I want to talk about is one that is near and dear to my heart, which is a leadership or executive coach. Leadership coaching has much of the same focus as executive coaching. They overlap. And in fact, leadership coaching is sometimes called a subset of executive coaching. The goal of a leadership coach is to support you in gaining awareness about how to become a more inspirational and impactful leader with strong communication skills. With leadership coaching, the client is typically a manager or team leader and may also be a C-level executive. If you are in leadership over a team or department or will soon become a people leader, you can benefit from the services of a leadership coach. The value of a leadership coach is largely in the partnership that is formed between you and the coach. If you're a leader, it can be a lonely position and a coach can perform several roles for you. Often the main role is that of being a partner with you in your professional development and achievement of your goals. What you openly share along with great questions asked by your coach, you have an opportunity to gain insight into your leadership style and how it may be helping or hindering you and your organization. Because of the confidentiality in a coaching partnership, you will likely be more willing to be open and completely honest with your coach, which makes the coaching more effective. Your coach will support you to explore your role more thoroughly and engage with the people in your sphere more effectively. Your coach will often administer assessments so you can gain awareness into yourself and find your own strengths and weaknesses and build upon those to develop your personal style of leadership. I've seen many women get stuck because they see hiring a therapist, a counselor, or a coach as an expense rather than as an investment. Many women are hesitant to invest money in themselves, or they think their company won't invest money in them, so they don't even ask. I've been there myself. I Googled, I YouTubed, I went to friends for guidance. I asked friends of friends at parties for guidance. Ultimately, I needed someone who not only understood the challenges of being a woman in leadership, but understood the makeup of a highly ambitious, high-achieving woman in leadership who perhaps has some type A tendencies to boot. I needed not only someone who understood perfectionism and people-pleasing, I needed someone who can help me manage those tendencies so they no longer held me back and made my life miserable. I needed someone who could see my ambition and my drive as strengths and help me to direct that energy so I could achieve the life and the career that I wanted. I love my family, my friends, my mentors, and those who sponsored me throughout my career, but they were not equipped to help me understand me. They couldn't help me to break down how I was perceiving others and the situations I was in and how that perception was impacting my ability to show up and be myself and respond in ways that made me feel both good in the moment and in retrospect. To determine if someone you're considering is right for you, investigate. Read through their website, the descriptions of what they offer, and their LinkedIn profiles. See what they're posting on social media. Does it resonate with you? Does it get you thinking? Does it help you start seeing a solution to your problem? See what others have to say about them. And if after all that you're still not sure, ask for a quick consultation where you can outline your problem, they can answer some questions, and the two of you can determine if you're a good match. If you're interested in finding out more about my process, the cost of coaching, or how to ask your employer to pay for you to work with a coach, schedule a time to chat with me. You can find that link in the episode description. If you're listening through a mobile device, that link will be in your podcast app. And if you're listening through the Women Taking the Lead website, the link will be toward the bottom of the episode webpage. There's also a link in there to access a checklist that will help you prepare to ask your company to sponsor you to work with a coach. Please don't be put off that you'll be wasting my time, or you're concerned that you might have to tell me ultimately that you've decided not to work with me. you can't hurt my feelings. I promise you. I'm here to help, and I want to support you in getting the help that you need, right? And if that means going in a different direction, then that's what it means, and I'm happy to do that. As always, I hope this was of value to you, and here's to your success.